You join me here on Tar Farm Lake 5 for 48 hours with my daughter Annabelle. Just giving it a try. I've never fished here before. I'm so used to fishing the main lakes of Linear. I got 48 hours with my daughter, so I thought I'd try and get a few bites. Probably had the rods in the water for an hour, and this one's ripped off. What an absolutely stunning fish, near fully scaled mirror. I get the feeling quite a lot of the fish in this lake are like this. So hopefully this video will have quite a few more of these. Fish number 2. I have had 5 takes already though, to be fair. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. A couple of hook pulls. Fish's mouths, they're so young, these fish, their mouths must be so soft. It's quite easy to get hook pulls. And I've actually been cut off by something else as well. So I'm going to make a few changes. I'm going to put the sleeves on the heli safes as well, because the 2 fish that I've actually caught, I'm getting most of the bites from down in the margin where there's no weed. So there's no point in dropping the leads at all. I've only had 1 take over bait out in open water, so I'm actually going to bring the rods in and fish them all down in the margins, close quarters. Nice and easy to bait up as well. Put the sleeves on the heli safe so I don't drop the leads. There's a couple of changes that I'm going to make. All fish have come, all the bites have come on fake corn as well. So bite number 5, fish number 2. I'm sure this will just continue throughout the rest of the day. That's fish number 3. Came 5 minutes after recasting down in the margin. This one to a corn popper rather than plastic corn. Didn't take long at all, like I say, 5 minutes. So all 3 rods are going down the margin. I've got 2 on the margin right as we speak now. So I'm going to quickly take a snap of this one and then get it back. Alright, it's been quiet for the last 45 minutes. Then out of the blue, I've had a double take. This is the first one of the 2. Lovely Linear, really deep scales, real thick scales on there. But yeah, like I say, it's been quiet for the last 45 minutes. There's a slight change in the wind, the sun's came out. I am fishing in the on the shallower margin, so about 6 foot of water. It goes up to about 20-25 foot in the centre, so I do expect, even with the sun coming out, that the fish are going to be mooching around in the margins, and I do expect a few more fish, particularly come evening when it cools down a little bit more. But yeah, like I say, this is the first one of the double take. A lovely Linear. All of the fish that I've had are between 10 and 15 pound, maybe, well, say 10, a bit more than that, maybe 12 to 18 pounds all of the fish have been so far. Absolutely lovely looking fish there, all of them. Right, let's get this one back and I'll go and get the second one. Right, Right, here it is. That's the second one of that double take. Another lovely linear.
This one screamed off while Daddy was playing the other fish.
Yeah, and Annabelle, bless her, helped me reel it in, so I was playing this one, the other one, and Annabelle was trying her hardest to get the other one in, and luckily she actually managed to keep the fish on so that I could play this one in just for the last few metres after landing the other one. Plenty more fish out there to be caught, I'm sure there are. Okay, this one's fish number 6.
This one interrupted Daddy while he was cooking tea.
Yeah, so I was just having cooking tea for us, and this one rudely interrupted us, unfortunately, so we had to stop cooking tea, land this one. It's just been sitting in the net while I finished off tea. We just ate our tea, and just as we finished eating our tea, my other rod ripped off, so it's another double take. Let's pop this one back really quickly and get the other one in. Okay, here's fish number 7. This is the second one of that double take. Another incredibly heavily scaled mirror. I said at the beginning of this video that I guess a lot of the fish in this lake look like this, and this is just another one of those. Every single one that I've had is absolutely stunning. I'm sure, like I've said before, there's more to come. What I'll do is I'll give you a bit of an update. I'll tell you what I'm catching on, where I'm catching, and why I'm fishing as the way I am. Okay, and another one. So in the last update I told you I was about to give you a few bits and pieces on how I'm fishing, where I'm fishing, and some of the bait, and unfortunately this one, as I was about to do it, this one tore off. Annabelle's decided to get herself into the sleeping bag, get herself all wrapped up warm, as I was about to do that update, and like I said, this one tore off. Unfortunately this one went straight into the weed. I decided to put one back out in open water, purely because I'd seen a few fish showing, and this is the one that went, but it went straight in weed again, and it's taken me a good 10-15 minutes to get out of the weed. I didn't only bring in weed though, I brought in a huge amount of line. So whether the first fish that I got snagged up on this morning and got cut off, whether that was wrapped up in that line as well, I'm not so sure. But yeah, it took ages to get this one in. I'm going to keep it out in open water, and again I'm going to change a couple of bits and pieces just to try and help me get it out of the weed if it does happen to do so. I'm going to have to fish really tight clutches on that one rod, no slack line at all, really tight bobbins, and the second I get a bleep on that rod I'm going to be on it, just to try and stop this happening again. But yeah, anyway, luckily managed to get it out. Nice little fish. Nothing yet to tip the 20 pound mark all around. As I mentioned earlier, anything between 10 and 18 pound I'd say. Yeah, quickly slip this one back. Okay, so it's just coming up to dark now. Tried to update you earlier, but got interrupted by another fish. I think I'm up to 11 bites now. Landed 7. Have I landed 7? 7 or 8? The last one that I caught obviously got me caught in weed, caused me a bit of trouble. Just managed to get all 3 rods back out, and I'm just going to pop just a couple more spawns out over the top of each one, just before bedtime. So yeah, I'm here on Tar Farm Lake 5. I've never fished here before. The reason I've chosen to come here is because I had my daughter with me, Annabelle, who you've seen in the videos previously. She's asked to come with me a few times fishing, and I've always been a bit wary about bringing her. She came with me overnight for the first time a few weeks ago, just down a local water, and she was absolutely superb, so I thought I'd give her a try a little bit further away. I'd never wanted to come down to Oxford with her down to Linear, a place like Linear, because it's far away from home, but she was brilliant, and I have to say she's been absolutely fantastic today as well. She's my little photographer, you know, she's been helping out as much as possible. So yeah, that's why I've come to Tar Farm as well, rather than going to some of the main lakes. I didn't want her to get bored, and I thought, and rightly so, that because these lakes are so new, the fish are so young, you know, they haven't really been pressured, that I'd actually managed to get quite a few bites, so it'd keep her busy and keep her occupied, and it has done just that. So yeah, the fish in here, like I said, they're young. They have been showing themselves, you know. They've spent a lot of the time in the margins. There's been a few fish showing out in open water, but not a lot. So when I got here this morning, I chose my peg. I didn't pre-book. I had a walk around the lake first of all, chose the lake, Then I went on the Go Catch app and booked it. I think a lot of people are worried to come on these lakes because you have to book a peg and then turn up. But no, I had to look around the lakes first of all, chose my lake, chose the peg, and then I booked it. Luckily, obviously, nobody was on the lake. I got the swim that I wanted where I thought the fish would be. So when I first arrived, the fish weren't showing as much. I saw the odd one or two out in open water following the wind. The wind was absolutely hacking down into this corner that I'm in now. It was very much a southerly wind right into this bay. I knew they'd be down here. I started off with PVA bags in the margins because I thought they'd be in the margins. Found a nice little clear spot in around about 6 foot of water. Bear in mind a lot of the water in front of me is 20-25 foot deep. And it's been warm today, it's been up to 20 degrees, so I didn't think they'd be in that deep water. So I thought they'd stick around the margins in the shallower water. PVA bags out to begin with, and I had absolutely nothing. I found a nice spot in open water. Again, managed, I think it was about 10 foot deep. There was a clear spot, about 10 foot deep, about 80 yards out I think it was. Put some bait out, 15 spoms, just to give a bit of bait. I had 2 rods on that, and I had 1 PVA bag, solid bag, over in the margin. I had nothing on the PVA bag, and it took a long time for me to actually get my first bite, and my first bite was out in open water, but I got cut off. Really weedy, it took me straight in weed, and it instantly cut me off. I then decided to change my PVA bag over to a bottom bait, so I just put plastic corn, 2 spoms or 3 spoms over the top of hemp, pellet, corn, and some tigers. I kept it simple. I didn't use boilie. I knew these fish would be take corn, fake corn over the top of hemp. I knew they would because, like I said, they are young fish. They'd have been brought up on pellets, so pellet was always a good option to add into there as well. Put that into over the margin, and it wasn't long before I had landed my first fish. I then decided to move 2 rods over onto the margin, both with fake corn. No, one with fake corn and one with corn poppers. Within 5 minutes of the corn poppers going in, I had the second fish. So that was it. Kept doing that, and I think by within an hour and a half of doing that, I think I'd had 7 or 8 bites. I'd lost a few though. Really soft mouths these fish have. Young fish, soft mouths, not really been caught before. 1 or 2 of them I'm sure have been, but yeah, not really been caught much. I bought the 3rd rod that was out in open water. I bought that into the margin as well, but I tried a different spot and I had no luck with that. Gave that time, still having bites on the margin rods over on the spot. So I then decided to put that 3rd rod back in the open water, and that's when I had that last fish. The reason I did that as well was because not only because when I put it into the other margin spot and not caught, I'd actually seen a few fish move into open water and they were showing themselves around about where the spot was. Didn't take long for it to go, but it took me into the weed. So earlier on I'd changed my my heli-safe leaders. I'd put the clip inside so that I didn't drop any of the leads, and I'd left the clip on. When I cast this one back out into the open water, like I said, it weeded me up. So finally and luckily managed to get it out of the weed. I have taken the clip out of that one so that the lead will drop if I manage to get another take in that open water. I really don't want it to take me into the weed again. If it does, for the safety of the fish, if that happens again, then I won't fish that spot. I'll just find another spot either in the margin or somewhere else in open water, as long as it's nice and clear. Got to think about the safety of the fish though. Like I say, they are young, really soft mouths. If they get caught up in that weed, those mouths will rip quite easily, and I really don't want to do that. As far as the fish are concerned, have you seen in the video, the fish are absolutely stunning. All of them are. Lots of scaly fish, not like the fish that you're used to on your Brasenose, 2s, not much character to them. However, in the last video you would have seen of Brasenose 1, there were a few more fish in there with character now, I have to say. In time, these lakes here, I'm sure, will be absolutely amazing, and they will be just as busy as the main lakes on Linear, purely because of how nice those fish are. The second they start going up to £20, £30, they're going to be real good captures. However, I'm having good fun. Annabelle's having really good fun as well. I'm going to put a film on tonight, sit down, chill out, watch the film as she nods off. I will get some more bait out though. if it gets a little bit too busy and if it starts waking Annabelle up in the night, I'm going to reel the rods in. I don't mind not having any rods in overnight at all. I'm sure the second I get the rods out in the morning as well, again, you know, the action's going to kick off. Thoroughly enjoyable day though. Okay, if you haven't been down here, if you've got a young one, at the moment, it's well worth bringing your little one down, I have to say. There's another stunner. Me and Annabelle were just lying down on the bed. I was just about to watch a film with her. You'll probably hear from the last clip actually. You'll probably hear it on in the background. Sitting down watching Super Mario Brothers. And then this one absolutely tore off out of nowhere. Absolute stunner. Light's fading, so I need to get the rod out as quick as possible. Next rod that goes, I'm not gonna cast it back out. I'll keep it out for the evening. It's been a long time since the last fish. In fact, it's been nearly 12 hours, I think. Actually, no, it's been more than 12 hours. It went really quiet in the night. The wind has swung round. It's gone more to a westerly, so it's pushing up the other end of the lake. Yesterday it was southerly, pushing right into my face, so the fish were holding up in this bay. But yeah, since the swing of the wind, I haven't had anything at all. Like I said, I kept that one out in open water. I had a take on that this morning at about 7 o'clock, but unfortunately it snagged me up and got cut off. So I made a quick change. I moved the rod just to the side, put some stronger line on, and then I had another take within 20 minutes, half an hour of recasting that just to the side. And unfortunately the hook pulled on that one. But yeah, I've been watching the coots on my bait, and then all of a sudden, we were playing some games on the iPad, weren't we, sweetheart?
Yeah.
And this one came out of the blue. Really small one, I think probably one of the smallest, probably the smallest one of the session actually, but another lovely fish. I'm going to quickly recast the rod, see if I can nick another bite from the margin as the sun's just going behind some cloud actually, but it's been really warm this morning. Yeah, that's number 10. Finally managed to wade my way through some of the smaller fish to get to one of the slightly bigger fish in this lake. It's 20 pound 8, this one, certainly the biggest of the session so far for me. I think they go up to 13 here, but this is the first one that's definitely the first one that's actually managed to creep over the 20 pound mark. Last fish, smallest one, cast the rods back out, and as I was sinking the line, this one took the bait and absolutely tore off pretty much while the rod was in my hand. Just as I'd finished netting this, my other rod went off as well, so there's certainly a few fish in the area, so I need to get this fish back as quick as possible so I can redo my rods.
One today. Two? Yeah, two. So, back to two. Can I buy some Mummy on your phone? Dada? We had two fish on at the same time. I had to help Daddy reel one of them in.
Yeah, another quick double take there. This one off the far margin, and while we were playing this one, my other rod screamed off. The other one's out in the middle, in the open water, on the spot on the open water. And like Annabelle's just said, she had to reel one of them in. It wasn't this one that she reeled in, actually, it was the other one. And the other one could potentially be another 20 pounder too. Okay.
This fish was 22 pounds. I reeled this fish in while Daddy was playing the other one.
Yeah, that's right. This is the other one. This is the one that went off in open water that Annabelle actually reeled in while I was playing the other fish. This 22 pounds is the biggest one of the session. You could tell straight away that it was a bit of a bigger fish, this one. So, see, it's taken a day now, but I've managed to get 2 20s to get into a couple of the bigger fish. Hopefully I might be able to creep another 20 or 2 out before leaving tomorrow morning.
This is my second fish that I've been able to catch all by myself.
Yeah, Annabelle's reeled this one in. This one is another one off the margin. Bites have slowed down a little bit, I have to say, but yeah, they're still trickling 1 or 2 fish in every now and then. All of the fish have fell to, I mentioned this yesterday, all of the fish have fell to either fake corn or corn poppers. The majority of them now are on corn poppers, to be fair. Let's keep them coming. This is either fish number 14 or 15, can't remember now. I'd say it was in the water for about 45 seconds, maybe a minute. You saw me in the last video. It was the recast from that fish. But like I say, possibly 45 seconds in the water and it's gone. Again, another beautifully patterned mirror. It's interesting that not one of the fish that I've had so far has been a common carp. Not complaining, they're all, I mean, they're small but stunning fish, aren't they? All to the same tactic as well. One or two spawns of bait made up of mainly hemp and corn. Popped a bit of pellet in there as well, and then just fishing corn poppers or fake corn over the top. So that's it, we're coming to the end of the second day. It's been another busy, hectic day, to be quite honest. I've lost count of how many bites I've had now. It's been a lot though, hasn't it, Annabelle?
Yeah.
I think we've caught about 15 or 16.
I'd say about 15.
Yeah, I think it's 15. But really useful coming down here. Really good couple of days. It's been nice to have Annabelle with me as well, to try and get her to actually do a few more bits and pieces to do with fishing as well. She's actually managed to land her a land fish for me. She's actually reeled in a couple of fish as well. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while, to get her down to do some nights with me. So yeah, tactics wise, it's been quite straightforward if I'm completely honest. Just a couple of spawns and an area that I've chosen over on a far margin, and an IQD rig with either pop-up corn or corn poppers. Every single one of the bites have been on those. The one thing I have played around with, because yesterday I lost quite a few fish where the hook had just pulled, presuming that it was just the fact that the fish's mouths are so soft, is that I changed a couple of rigs today from a crank hook to a crank choddy hook, so the eye has been outturned, so a different turn on the eye. And to be quite honest, on any of the rigs that I've got the crank choddies on, I actually haven't lost a fish. Might be coincidence, might not be, who knows. But yeah, really straightforward fishing, nice clear spots, really clear on the patches that I've found, even the one that's out in open water. It's just a shame that probably, I'm going to take a guess, probably 2 rod lengths to the side, there's some savage weed or some form of something in the water anyway that's causing me to get cut off. Presuming it was weed, to be quite honest. But when it gets locked in there, it's really difficult to get the fish out. 2 fish I've managed to get out, 2 fish I've managed to get cut off from as well. So, but yeah, and that's it. Bait, I told you earlier in one of the earlier updates, it's just straightforward, mainly hemp and corn. There are some tigers in there as well, just to make sure that there's something big and heavy going straight to the bottom. The hemp and the corn will take a little bit longer to get to the bottom, and will spread a little bit more. And I have added some pellet in as well, just some straightforward Coppins pellets. I'm pretty sure that these fish would have been fed on Coppins pellets when they were being reared, so you know, it's always worthwhile bringing some pellets along, especially for the younger fish like these ones. The fish have been lovely, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally managed to get a common as well towards the end. So we've got tonight to go. We're going to head off early tomorrow morning. It'd be nice for me to get one perhaps just in the night. I didn't get anything in the night. It was really quiet last night, in fact, really quiet. I only heard 1 or 2 fish crashing, and I was up quite a lot of the night because somebody was wriggling. Somebody was taking up most of the bed. But never mind. Yeah, let's see if I can get another one during the night anyway. Done. Oh, it's locked. here we are. It's just gone midnight, and I have had a fish in the night, just like I said I wanted. I did lose on at 10 o'clock as well. Another hook pull. Since the update just before we'd lost all of the light last night, I had another 3 after that update. Sorry, yeah, another 3 after that update. Another couple of mirrors and another common. Yeah, so that was after the update, leading up to dark, just before it started to get dark as well. And then I lost that one at 10 o'clock. It had just gone pitch black at that point. Rattled off, and that was the open water rod actually. That was I didn't expect anything on the margin rod. Hook pull just as I was getting it to the net actually. Yeah, and this one of the margin rods, midnight it is now. There you go. This one's going to be an absolute stunner when it's a bit bigger. You should probably tell from my voice I'm incredibly tired. I'm lack of sleep. So I'll get this one back and try and get a few more hours skip. And there we go, we're finished. Rods are still out, so I've got a chance for another one before we head off. But I don't plan on lasting that much longer. We ended up with 19 fish in total. I think I had about 30 bites. It's really good fun, really good sport. If I'm completely honest, for £40 a night, it's not great value at the moment, purely because of the size of the fish. I only had out of 19 fish, only 2 of them were 20s, and the biggest of those 2 20s was £22. But I come here for a reason, because of Annabelle, just to get her into it, just to make sure it was fun, making sure that we were catching a few fish to keep her occupied, and that's exactly what's happened. So if that's what you want to do, feel free. It's a great venue. The lakes are looking absolutely superb, and I'm no doubt in a good few years' time these are going to be, these are going to be just as busy as the main linear venues. The fish are absolutely stunning. I know that. All right, I'll see you soon.